Welcome to the NCA call recording bundle session. I just want to show you some of our new products and services. This is including our new call recording bundles option. To find this, go to the left hand side under features and you'll see a new option there that says call rec bundles. Click on the call rec bundles and you can see I've already created some bundles here already and using this for various different extensions. If I go to new to create a new one on the bottom right here, first of all you need to give your recording bundle a name. So let's just give this a name of support. You can add a little description there if you want to, but not essential. If you add owners to this record group, then if they are standard users or users with call recording access, then these people will be able to access the call recordings along with the administrators. If you leave the group not owned by anybody, then anybody can access it with the right level of access. So just keep that in mind. Now what you need to do is decide what type of storage type you require. There are a number of different storage types available. We have storage based on the amount of gigabytes that you wish to store and use. And we also have time based. So we have time based that goes from 1 month all the way up to 10 years. And we have storage based that goes from 1 gig all the way up to 2 terabytes. Now you may also notice that there's other options within each option of the 1 gig storage, for instance, and you can see here there's a standard storage here which includes the call recording itself, and the storage is included in the price. And then we have another one here which is the storage is included in the price but not the actual recording. This is because we enable you to be able to select email recording, so you can have your recordings emailed out to you, or if you want to enable the SFTP, FTP service as well, then you can do this at an extra cost and they will be sent out to your FTP, SFTP server. So I'm just going to start off with a 1 gig of storage. Now you can see on here, as soon as I've selected that, it's opened up some more options. First of all, you can enable a email alert. If I change this to yes, you can put your email address in there and then you can decide on a threshold of when you want to be emailed by. So if you want to know before you get to say 95% of storage capacity used, it will then send you an email, okay? And you'll see in a second under the status what we mean by capacity used. Once you've done that, I'm going to take that storage off, email alerts off. What you can do on here, because it's storage based, you can record whatever service you like, just like our standard call recording system. You can enable it for extensions if you want to do that. You can enable it for numbers if you want to do that too. You can record hunt groups, whatever you might want it to be. You can record queues. So again, add the queues in there. That is the support queue recording group. I'm going to add support in here as well. You can record feature codes and you can also include paging. Once you've decided on that, just click save. It then pops up with a window here to tell you what's going on. It's asking you that you need to make sure that you comply with the regulations, and then it tells you the cost of creating this. Okay, because this is a storage type, it's saying in this case it's £15 to activate the record group, and then £10 per month based on this type of group. Click save, and then that's created the group. You can see in here now, I've now got this storage group here called support. If I click on that, I can go back in and I can make some changes. Now you notice at the very top up here, it's now telling me about the status, and it says that currently I've got nothing used because obviously I've just created it. It doesn't know about old files at the moment. If I go back to another call recording group that I created earlier, let's look at, say, this one here. You can see on here that this record group actually says that this is a 4 gig recording group. It says here that I've actually used 55 or almost 56 megabytes of storage, which is 15 hours and 33 minutes. So quite a lot of time. Space left is 3.94 gigabytes. And down here it says that I've got an estimated time of 1,095 hours left. So you can see it gives you quite a lot. It also tells me about how old the oldest file is. So it will give you again an indication of how long or how much call recording you're keeping for a period of time within this group. There we go. So one of the things again you can do with this, if you want to, if you decide that actually this group is too big or too small, you can regrade this record group. So if you come down here to where it says regrade and click yes, you've then got the option to regrade this call record group. You can't change it to a time-based, you can only change it to a different type of storage-based. So if I want to downgrade, because this one's a 4 gig for instance, if I come on here and I say downgrade this to 1 gig, again it tells me still got all the same groups that I'm recording and stuff like that. I then just click save at the bottom of the page. It then warns me and telling me that that I'm switching off the FTP and email service. So if you had this set up before, you need to be aware that you're now about to switch this off. So I'm going to click OK for this. It's also telling me that my last chance to switch to not switch this off, because obviously if I do switch this off, it's going to then disable the email and FTP service. So it's just double checking with you. And again, it's now telling me that I'm downgrading this, and because it's less storage, anything that's more than 1 gig of storage will be deleted. So if I click OK now, and it's just telling me now that the final cost for the regrade is £50 and £10 a month because it's downgraded. Click back to the groups and I go back to that one. You can now see that this one has now changed to a 1 gig storage base without SFTP, FTP or email recordings available. Once you've created a call recording group, you can then add more extensions into the call recording group, or if you have a storage based record group, you can add more than just extensions. You can add numbers, hunt groups, those sort of things. If we just look at the extensions down here, if I scroll down the list, you can see I can add any of these extensions just by clicking on them and moving them across. Now, there are some limitations on this, and that's, for instance, if you've got extensions in other groups, these will appear at the bottom of your list and it will tell you it's in use in advanced sales group there, which is the advanced call recording service, call bundles. If you've got extensions that are in other call recording groups, then for instance, like this one, for instance, it says in use with the NTA pool, which means it's in our standard call recording list. It won't let me add any of these ones that are already in use. If you want to allow for this call, for this extension to be added into this group, then you simply need to go into the telephone, find the telephone, scroll halfway down the page under settings, you can see that it's in a record group here. If I change this to no record group and click save, I then go back to the call recording bundles. I can now add that extension to the call recording bundle. It's become available. I select and move it in, click save. If I now go back to the extension again, scroll to where the extension lives, just down here, and you can see now that it's telling me that it's now in call recording bundle area 0013 and 0014. Again, if you want to add to numbers, you can do it with numbers as well. Click into the number, select the number you want to work with, and you can see in here it's this number isn't in any record group or call recording bundle group. So you simply go back to the call recording bundle group and add this number into that record group that you want it to go into. Again, keep in mind that you can only add telephones in time-based record group, but if you've got storage-based, then you can use any type of you can record pretty much anything that you could do on the old system. Now let's have a look at the call recording storage bundle for time-based. So to do this, I'm going to click New. I'm going to give it another name. So this time I'm going to call it Accounts. And I'm going to not add an owner or anything like that. I'm going to go down to the storage type, and I want to change this to a 3-month storage type with no FTP. So I'm going to select this one. And as you can see on here, it only allows me to record telephones. This is because time-based call recording is all based on extensions. So when you create this, it will charge an amount of money per extension to activate it, an amount of money per extension per month. So if I had, say, 4 extensions in here and click Save, get a little warning pop up saying about working with the regulations again. It then tells me that the call recording bundles will cost me £2 per extension to set up and £1 per month for this type of call recording extension. So I click Save. You can now see I've got this call recording group here called Accounts, and it says 3 months of storage there. Again, I can go back in. Again, it's not telling me the oldest file because it hasn't got any in there. Okay, I'll show you an example of that in a moment. But I can now, if I wish to, go in here and regrade this. I click Yes. I can select that I want to regrade this to 1 year. And this time I'm going to regrade it with FTP. And you can put in your email address and enable FTP on here if you want to, or you can do that afterwards. I'm going to leave the same recording extensions in there. I'm going to click Save. Again, a little warning pops up. It's telling me because this one's a bigger group, there's a regrade cost of £75. Each extension will be charged 90p a month for this record group because it's got FTP involved in it. Click Save on that. If I go into one that shows you an amount of recording storage time, so if I click on this one here, this one has 6 months storage. You can see on here that it actually tells me the oldest file is the 7th of the 12th, 2022. So it will give you an idea of how old the latest file is, so you can see if you've actually gone past the 6 months recording time already just by looking at the date. Obviously, it makes no difference to how many recordings you're making because this is all based on time and not amount of files you're keeping. If you want to delete the call recording group, no problem. You can select the call recording group you want to delete over here and then just click delete selected recording group, and that will then dispose of that and you won't be charged of that recording group anymore. If you wish to download your call recording files, then you can do this in one or two ways. You can go into the call recording area via the bottom of the page here where you can find your call recordings. You can search up here and it will show you call recordings. If you wish to download a large amount of call recordings, you can do this by selecting here under Select for Download. Change that to Yes, and it will allow you to choose a maximum of 10 hours to download at any one time. If you update the list, it will show you the files that you will be downloading. As you can see in this case, there's only one file because it's a huge 9-hour duration. If you select all the files and click download, you get a little message pop up to say you'll get an email to tell you that the files will be ready at some point. This is what the file looks like, or the email looks like, that you will get to receive to let you know that the files are ready for collection. If you then go back into the call recordings, go to the bottom of the page, you can see down at the bottom now that we have 2 files here that are ready to download. And you can see on here that it's telling us that it will be available for 7 days. So you click the file that you want, which will be the last one that you requested, and then it will pop up with a window for download. I hope you found that useful. If you have any questions, don't forget to speak to our technical support guys. They'll do their best to help you out. Thank you very much for your time.